With me today is Chef Rakesh Sethi, who is the corporate executive chef of the Radisson Group of hotels, and incidentally, he heads 125 of them across South Asia. Welcome to Candid with Karl.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
So just to share further, Chef Rakesh has been famous for his program, which made up a household name, Mirch Masala, which ran for 8 years on Star Plus.
Yes.
Also, Tea Time with Rakesh Sethi. Rakesh, you've been renowned for food that you served to presidents and celebrities across the various continents. What is your biggest challenge in maintaining the standards of excellence?
See, India has evolved, right? So when we started, the markets were not that open. Ingredients, bringing in imported ingredients into India was not that easy, and procurement was a challenge.
Right.
Today, things are quite simple, and getting some international ingredients to various locations within India,
Right.
sometimes becomes challenge, and then to match it with the flavors of locality. These are the challenges that we face. But however, we are putting standard procedures in place by putting our procurement strategy in place, right? And the best thing that we do is we go local.
Yes.
So going local helps us procurement more easy, and it becomes for us more easy to get sustainable ingredients and organic ingredients in various locations across India for Radisson Hotel.
Correct. And once I guess the SOPs are laid down, then you have your chefs that you've trained under you who will follow them to the T.
Yes, so we have our weekly calls with the area people, and then we keep telling them on our WhatsApp group,
Right.
on what are we doing new, and so they are all abreast with what is happening within the company. And then we give them standing operating procedures, standard recipes to produce.
I see. Okay.
So all these are in place. That brings a synergy amongst all the hotels and all the chefs, and
Yes.
we are able to produce a common dish wherever you go in any Radisson. You will find the same club sandwich presentation and taste and look and feel. So that is what helps in having a soup.
And in the hotel line, a guest is never ever open to the fact that he may be served a bad meal. He always expects 100%. So when we're talking about meals and various countries and various ingredients, how is this uniformity maintained?
So as you rightly said, each guest has got his own preferences.
Right.
Each guest has his own set mind, what he wants. So what we do is we try to cater to the need of the guest. Menus are a guideline for us, which is a standard menu, burgers and fish and chips and all those things in any all-day dining.
Right.
And then there are specialty dishes of any specialty restaurant.
Right.
However, we are all very flexible to the requirement of the guest.
Okay.
We customize our recipes.
So a guest can request for a certain specific meal.
If we given a time, if he doesn't want in 20 minutes or less,
Right.
we ask them for some time, and then we are able to customize to his requirement. Now that solves the major issue. If any guest is very, very particular about his diet,
Right.
but we are able to cook to his requirement,
Mm-hmm.
most of the things are sorted.
Chef, you're based in Gurgaon, and I would imagine you travel to Pune every so often. So, North Indian and the West have very different cuisines. How does the landscape of Pune's culinary scene look to you?
It is just not Pune or Maharashtra. India is such a diverse country and such a rich heritage, culinary heritage we have.
Right.
So it's such a wonderful experience when you travel from one state to another. You find a change of dialect, you find change of cuisine, you find change of how people like to have their food due to climate changes and other things. So when you come to Pune, I have traveled here a lot for my TV shows also, and now we have 2 Radisson hotels here, so I keep coming here very, very often to these hotels.
Right.
Over the years, I have found, that Pune has turned into a melting pot of culinary diversity.
Right.
People here have evolved along with the time. They love to eat their food. They enjoy their meals. They have started going out. Dining out has become very, very common now in every part of India, though. But yes, of course, Pune also. They are very conscious of eating healthy food. They love concepts like farm to fork. They love to have food which are new and innovative.
Right.
At the same time, there is certain set of people who still have their love for the traditional Maharashtrian food. They still want to have the homely food. Even if they go out, they'll want to have those street foods that are available, and I always feel that street foods have been very, very guiding force for the menus, even in the five stars.
Oh yes.
Wherever you go, you'll find street foods.
It's like Bombay Pav Bhaji is almost like across India. Wherever you travel, you'll find Bombay Pav Bhaji. So also the Golgappe from Delhi is, synonymous now with the north and stuff.
So now Pune caters to both the needs, the people who love creative, innovative food and the people who like authentic optional dining, whenever they go. So
Correct.
both traditional and the balance is very well maintained. And I'm so glad to see you name a restaurant or a cuisine you will find in Pune.
Wonderful. Chef, one thing I've realized is, if typically when I have keema pav or I have the pav bhaji, somehow the roadside essence can never really be captured. Okay, or very rarely do I say, oh wow, it's the same as. So why is this? Why is this, gap?
There were earlier cooks who were called karigars.
Correct.
So the art of cooking was never given away. The recipes were not so easily given.
Passed down from father to son, but they were not
Given to public.
Yes.
Mothers would teach their daughters at home. The home food remained within the homes.
Right.
The karigars would seldom give out their secrets to their people. And these karigars, if there is a man making samosa, he is only making samosa for the last 40 years.
Correct.
So who can make a better samosa than a man who had been making samosa all his life?
Correct.
However, people adapt, people learn, people see and watch, and people try out recipes and they learn from that.
Yes.
But not two people can do a same.
I think sometimes, like some people jokingly say, that sometimes it's the unhygienic conditions on the road that probably add to some of the flavor.
It is there, but it is a fact that these street foods have their own taste.
Correct. Their own aroma.
But when the things and times are evolving, it is coming into 5-star hotel, but then the 5-star touch comes into it somehow. So the chaat property of the roadside will never be the same
as you
have a 5-star hotel, because you try to make it more better.
Yes.
Innovations are there. Then the recipe changes. You try to make it a little more standardized and high quality.
Correct.
And there are minor changes that make the difference.
Yes. Chef, on to everybody's favorite topic, which is cricket. Now, you have obviously cooked for some of the famous names across the world. But I think, having gone through your Instagram profile, Kohli, Rohit, and Dhoni, they swear by the food that you cook for them. Any insights?
I have been very, very lucky. I work for Radisson Hotel Group, where any cricketing team or any team that stays or any other VIP movement that happens at Radisson, by default, I am available and present there. And I get this opportunity to meet all these cricketing stars and cook for them along with my team. So, this rare opportunity to not only cook for them, be with them for 5 to 10 days. 5-day matches.
Wow.
5-day matches are
you're there across the entire spectrum.
before they come, and when they leave, I'm there with them, looking after them, their families, and we get directives on their dietary requirements. So we prepare their menus as per what they want, for every individual, and not only for Indian team but for our international traveling teams also. We get these directives. What food to be put on for them for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and what are their preferences, likings and dislikings, and dietary requests. So keeping all this in mind, over the time you start remembering,
Yes.
who wants what, and when you proactively produce something and cook and serve it to them, they get so delighted that he remembers last time I had asked for this. So their favorite juice or their favorite dish or their favorite ingredient, if you bring it to them without asking, they actually get very, very...
No, I'm sure, Chef, because, I think what distinguishes or what differentiates one 5-star, or for that matter, any hotel, from one to the other, is the fact of that personalized touch. You walk in and somebody says, hello, sir. The other hotel will say, good evening, Mr. Mascarenas. So that is that personal touch that you say, wow, he remembers me. And when it comes to food, something that sustains you, it must be to a far greater extent.
And you exceed the expectation of the person. That delights them.
Right. I remember Dhoni's famous line, when they asked him, how do you maintain this composure, whether you win or lose? He says, I follow a process. And if that process is followed to the T, normally it will bring you the desired result.
Absolutely.
Fascinating person. So can you share any insights of maybe what he likes or in terms of food?
So, twice I have cooked for him, and he's again very simple in his food habit. He loves the everyday food that you cook for him, but of course the food has to be healthy, and he eats normal routine food that we
Yes,
eat.
okay.
He eats sandwiches, he eats chapati.
Pizzas and
Not pizza,
Right.
but of course sandwiches, vegetarian sandwich, meals that we cook at home, and especially the local meal of Ranchi. And
I see. Okay.
So-
Yes.
while I was in Ranchi, incidentally, I also traveled to the place where he used to eat at Bhola Litti, and I also went to that place, and amazing. So he has got good taste.
Right.
He still maintains that healthy dietary requirement that he has to eat as a sports person. And we are able to live up to his expectations. And he frequents and has visited many times in our hotel. Not only that, we have catered to the stadium.
Right.
So where we have been able to provide food to the team.
Right. And today, Virat is supposed to be one of the fittest cricketers on earth. I believe he's totally vegan.
Yes, he's vegan and he loves green vegetables. He loves local seasonal produce. He loves the food of hilly regions and mountain regions. Right. When he goes and travels to places like Dharamshala, the local green vegetable, leafy vegetable of that area, when we make a saag out of that and bring to him, he just loves it. And he knows, he's very clear in his mind what he has to eat. So he gives us a hint, what we really like to have during lunch or dinner and next day morning. So we accordingly produce it and we try to give him local thing, healthy things. Of course, he loves to have millets and other products, gluten-free products. And as I mentioned, these green vegetables, once we knew that he likes this, we make sure that we are able to have all those ingredients in hand when it's coming.
Beforehand, yeah.
And less, no oil actually, less spicy, simple food. It's more with the home touch. And he's mentioned in one of his comments to us that he feels at home when he comes to Dharamshala.
Right. And I believe Rohit is not only casual in his batting, but he's more casual even in his food. He eats everything, I believe.
Since he's from Mumbai, I would use the word Bindass.
Bindass.
So he's totally carefree, but very responsible.
Right.
He knows what he's looking for, but he's not very choosy and fussy.
I see. No strict diet and stuff.
No, he has his diet, but then he tells us in advance, today I'll be eating only vegetarian.
I see.
So then we accordingly make a menu, and already we have the dietary requirements from the board.
Correct.
So we prepare the meal which is universally fit for all the players.
Correct.
But however, these are the key people and they are actually the people who love eating.
Right.
So we also know their dietary habits and we also tend to showcase what we have for them.
Wonderful.
And with this, we build up a rapport with them and they know. So if they have to make an order also, place an order for food, they'll just look for us, call Chef Sethi.
Yes.
So that rapport comes up only when you have been constantly giving them the right food.
Correct.
What they need.
And the trust and the dependence on how you sustain yourself.
So wherever they are dining in that restaurant or outside the al fresco area,
right,
they would call by name and say, okay, he knows what I want. So tell him that I want, say anything. So that is the time, when we think, yes, we have accomplished something, that we have known our customers, we know what they want, and we are able to provide that.
Wonderful. And folks, Chef Sethi is the reason why these guys hit so many sixes. I'm sure. All his options in the food.
We reach to the heart, to stomach. So
yes, really. And to the biceps also. Chef, you handle 125 locations across India. Now, the fascinating part is I'm told that a 3-hour or 4-hour drive anywhere in India brings you to a Radisson Hotel.
So very true. We are at drivable distance from anywhere you start.
Right.
From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, you will find a Radisson Hotel every 3 to 4 hours. Right. Every city that you have. That is the presence of Radisson Hotel pan India. And the best part is you don't have to carry food when you're traveling.
Yes.
If you're driving by road, just start. And for every meal period, you can always have a good halt. Any Radisson that comes on your way, you can always check. You can call us. We can keep your food ready. If you know your timings, we can always keep your preferred meals ready.
Preferred meals.
So I mean, it's...
And can you call in advance to Radisson and say, this is what I prefer when I reach?
Yes. So that is what we do,
Right.
with our people. We feed in the history of the people who have stayed with us. With us.
Yeah.
But however, we encourage people that if you are coming to us, our reservations, they check with you, if it is a particular occasion that you are coming or is there anything that requirement that you have.
Right.
So we feed that into our systems and we are all aware. And the best part is, chef is no more a back of the house commodity.
Mm.
Today, chefs are the face of the restaurant.
Yes. Yeah.
They're the face of the hotel. They're the face of the hotel chain.
Yes.
So they make and break the image of the company if they are little lesser in whatever they are trying to do.
Correct.
You have to be the best. You have to represent your company. I carry my company name on my shoulders, and whenever I encourage every chef of my hotel, Radisson Hotel, to be at the floor,
Right.
meet the guest, interact. It builds a rapport. It instills comfort and also confidence
Yes.
in the guest mind for the food that he's getting. He's able to convey what he wants.
Correct.
You're able to pick up what the guest wants.
Right.
You're able to produce and give it to and serve to the guest. That bonding that you have with the chef cannot be any other service. No offense to anybody, but chef has of last 10 years, I will see, become a prominent figure of the hotel. They are become the most highly paid professionals. Yes, they are the one who are actually the brand ambassadors of the restaurant or the food chain that they are serving for. So I think this is a very, very noble profession. You get a satisfaction when you are able to cater, and you see the delight on the face of your customer while you're producing and serving.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head, Chef, because I would go a step further. Having started my career at the Oberoi in Bombay, I think today an executive chef or a chef generally, somebody with an F&B background, would make a better GM than somebody who just graduates from rooms division. See, when it's more rounded.
True, when you come to 20 years or 2 decades back, when I wanted to come into hospitality, you would always want to be a front office or a restaurant manager or something. Not many people wanted to be a chef until he came on television and showcased that this is a very, very glamorous
profession, highly paid profession.
Yes, and a skill.
Yeah,
it's an art. And today, when you go to colleges, people are wanting to come out and be chefs.
Right.
So this gives this profession more growth.
Correct.
More people want to come into it, and everybody wants to now come forward and showcase what they are doing at the back of the house. They bring it to the front and they showcase. And so as a result, kitchens are now become interactive live kitchens.
Yes.
People, it's more like a stage.
Open kitchens.
Yeah, it's more like a stage. You're an artist. You are trying to showcase your product, and your performance, and it is well orchestrated by your team at the back end, and you produce and bring a plate on that is the final result, and all the delight.
In fact, one of the things when you see some master chefs working behind the glass, it's almost like poetry in motion.
Absolutely.
It's a visual treat for the eyes before your dish actually arrives to your table.
So it is a combination of skill and art combined with science. Today, the people are able to produce with the new generation chefs, bringing in technology into their cooking. So the cooking and the profession has evolved over the last 2-3 decades, and it has become so much now more glamorous and nice and enjoyable to work. And with the media bringing and hyping this whole profession, I think everybody today wants to be a chef.
Excellent. Chef, would you have any tips for youngsters in catering colleges, etc.? Because the fear, like you rightly said, when rooms division was so popular a few years back, what are the tips you give to budding chefs so that they can rise and someday hope to emulate you?
I always feel, have a right attitude.
Right.
It is the attitude, not the aptitude, that will decide your
attitude. Yes.
So I always feel, have patience, learn your basics. If your basics are your foundation is strong, then the building can rise to any level. Start experimenting only once you know your basics directly. If you are a lesser chef and you can spoil a dish, it is better just to first work on whatever cuisine you're trying to master, and work on it. After that, only try to experiment or innovate or do some creativity. Before that, you will spoil the whole thing. So first thing is foundation should be very correct. Then if you are working for a good hotel chain, just follow the simple principles of seeing how your seniors are actually doing it, because today industry is losing trainers also. If there are no people to join, but then there are no trainers also to train the right people. So training is very important. Just see the processes. As you mentioned, once the process is correct, your final outcome is going to be more or less right. So follow the process that has been laid by your company or your boss or your chef, and you will see the end result is correct. At least there is a synergy in whatever we are doing. In any shift you go, you will find the same dish, same color, same consistency, same taste, only when you follow a process of being, that standard recipe has been given.
Right.
So these are very important, that you have your work on your basics, work on your training. During the training, don't hesitate from anything. Just give your 100%, go through the grind, and then you will see that you come out to be a very good, shining, bright star.
Excellent. And you being such an integral part of the Radisson Group, would you advocate that it's easier to rise in a particular chain, or should you, crisscross and go to different hotel properties and stuff, and then maybe choose what you want finally?
See, I come 4 decades back, when it was mentioned that Rolling Stone does not gather.
Gathers no moss, correct.
So we always advocated, stabilize yourself.
Right.
Any hotel also, today also, this applies even today, but then you have to grow, you have to learn, you have to experiment, you have to see more, you have to go to various properties and see. At Radisson, we give you this opportunity. Since we have 125 hotels, we allow you to move from one hotel to another.
Wonderful. Across states?
Across states.
Wow.
You want to go to your hometown, we can look for internal transfers.
Right.
You want to go to a different department. After some time, you decide, okay, no, I don't want to work in front office, I want to work in housekeeping.
Correct.
We at Radisson Hotel give that opportunity to our team. We just recently, 2 months back, we celebrated a full month, where we encourage people to come forward and choose your profession. We were flexible people. We have flexible timing. We have flexible shifts. We also encourage people to change departments. They want to try one day and see how engineering works. You can always go there,
right,
and spend some time in the engineering departments. So this gives you the flexibility to choose what your passion is,
right,
what your heart says, and even at any stage you feel that you want to swap one department to
correct.
We are open for that. So that is the time when we started seeing that people are joining Radisson Hotel Group
and staying with the Radisson. Right.
The whole purpose of this was that people should not jump for money or jump for change of learning
or glory. Yes.
Growing. Yeah. That opportunity now we are giving you within the group,
right?
And then we are a vast chain. Once you are stable, any owner, any company would want any stable employee, right, so that he is able to constantly produce consistent food.
Yes.
So that there is a brand imagery attached to whatever you showcase.
Right.
So every time the chef changes,
right,
there is a chance of quality going down.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think hotels really thrive on retention of staff, because it's only then that you will know certain guests by name. When you switch from place to place, frequently your own respected regular clientele, you miss out.
You miss out. So that is one part, and second part is the image of the hotel.
Yes.
You are trying to build something. It will not be built up in 6 months or 1 year.
Correct.
You have to spend some time to build up that image, and once that is built up,
right,
then the customers come with your name.
Right.
They ask for you.
Yes.
They enter into the restaurant. That is the time when you
achieve. The most precious thing for any person is his name. So once you're addressed by your name and your likes, and in your case, chef, when you know what food or what special foods you like, it is the ultimate thing for any guest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So wonderful talking to you. This has been a fabulous session where we bring food to your home. And now in this particular episode of Candid with Carl, we brought home to Chef Rakesh Sethi. Wonderful being with you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Chef, as we come towards the end of this absolutely fascinating segment, what exactly is your food philosophy? And how do you ensure sustainability over the entire Radisson Group?
So at Radisson, I have always advocated one single philosophy, which is called FLOSS, FLOSS.
Mm-hmm.
We try to bring in fresh, local, organic, sustainable and seasonal produce.
FLOSS.
So we work with local farmers.
Mm-hmm.
We have integrated all sustainable practices with all our hotels. We try to do local produce, seasonal produce. We want to work with the farmers of the locality. We want to reduce our carbon footprint,
right,
so that we are able to source within our vicinity of the hotel.
Right.
And then we practice waste management systems, where by composting, we are able to dispose our waste properly and responsibly.
Right.
Not only zero plastic or single-use plastic eliminated from the system, Now we are going ahead and ensuring that, all our excess produce, whatever we have, is creatively and innovatively utilized so that there is no wastage at all.
Right.
So no bins are no bin days are being followed in our hotels in certain areas. So we are able to ensure that, we have dishes which are made by local people, local produce, and as per local taste and methods of cooking.
Right.
So we are promoting a sense of locality wherever we are present in the pan India.
Right.
So that is what we are trying to do and ensure sustainability becomes a habit.
Right.
It is a way of life that we want to live in Radisson. Sustainability is just not a word.
Correct.
It is a practice.
It's a practice. And may floss add real gloss to whatever you do. It's been a fascinating session, Chef, and more power to you as you take the Radisson Group to greater and greater heights.
Thank you very much for having me.
Cheers.